Hey mathematicians, Justin here. Caroline just messaged me for help with a problem on our math homework. Here it is. Okay, it's long, but I see a lot of familiar things in there. Give it a shot. What do you get when you solve this problem for Caroline? Instead of comparing our answers right away, let's do some similar problems and see what we can figure out. This problem has some things in common with Caroline's. What similarities do you notice? There are two variables in both of these equations, right? And both times the variables are on opposite sides of the equal sign. So we need to get both of the variables on the same side to solve. Which one should we move? Should we move the 7x over to the right or the negative 10x over to the left? Well, the good news is there's no wrong decision here. You can do either and still get the right answer. However, there is a way to make things easier on yourself. If you regularly bring the smaller number to the bigger number, you'll end up with positive numbers more often instead of negative numbers. We call this technique bringing the baby home to mama. Babies are smaller than their parents and they need to stay with them, so we bring the smaller number to the bigger one to keep things simpler. Let me show you what I mean. I'll do it the harder way first. If I bring the bigger term, 7x, over to the smaller term, negative 10x, then I end up with negative 3x on the right. But if I bring the baby home to mama and bring the smaller term, negative 10x, over to the right by adding it, we end up with positive 3x on the left. I don't know about you, but I'd rather deal with positive values instead of negative ones. So we added 10x to both sides, and our next line is 15 plus 3x equals 51. You've got it from here. Use inverse operations to isolate x. We subtract 15 from both sides, rewrite what remains, which is 3x equals 36, then divide both sides by 3, which gives us our solution, x equals 12. Did you check your work yet? If not, do it with me now. Remember, we have to substitute 12 in place of both x terms when we check our work. Let's do another practice problem. How about negative 4 times the group 6x plus 2 plus 22x equals 15 plus 2x? This is lengthy, so we better follow the checklist for this one. Where's our variable? It's in 3 different locations in our equation this time. Step 2a says we simplify. Go ahead and fully simplify each side of the equation, then unpause the video. When we simplify, we start with the distributive property. So multiply negative 4 by 6x and 2. That gives us negative 24x minus 8 plus 22x for the left side. As we work, it's important to keep writing the whole equation, even the parts we haven't simplified yet. Keep your work nice and neat, too. Now that we're working on longer equations, it's easy to make silly mistakes when you can't follow your own work. Anyway, is there anything we can do to further simplify the left side? We could combine the like terms, negative 24x and 22x, right? Negative 24 plus 22 is negative 2, so we have negative 2x minus 8 equals 15 plus 2x. Is there anything we could do to simplify the right? There's no distribution, and those aren't like terms, so it's as simplified as it gets. Time for step 2b, get the variables on the same side. Remember, you can bring either term to either side using inverses, but we're going to make things easier on ourselves by bringing the baby home to mama. Using that method, what should we do? Move the negative 2x or the positive 2x? Negative 2 is smaller than positive 2, so we'll move negative 2x over to the positive 2x on the right. What's the opposite of negative 2x? That'd be adding 2x to both sides. On the left, those cancel out, so all we have left is negative 8. And on the right, we have 15 plus 4x. From here, we move on to step 2c, using inverse operations to isolate the x. Do that on your own now. To isolate x, we subtract 15 from both sides, which gives us negative 23 equals 4x. We divide both sides by 4 to finally get x by itself, which results in negative 5.75. Of course, you checked your work, right? Me too. I substituted negative 5.75 in place of all three x's, which resulted in 3.5 on both sides. Great job. Now that we've gone over multi-step equations with multiple variables, including variables on both sides, I want us to both try solving the equation from Caroline's homework again. Don't forget to check your work and use the checklist as you go. Let's see how we did. I started by figuring out the variable was in two locations on opposite sides of the equal sign. Then I moved on to step 2a, simplifying. On the right side, I used the distributive property to multiply 2 through x and 5. That gave me negative 6 plus 2x plus 10 equals 8x plus 4. I still had some simplifying to do on that side, though. Negative 6 and 10 are like terms, so should I use inverse operations to combine them, or no? No, since they're on the same side, I don't use inverses, I just add or subtract them from left to right. Negative 6 plus 10 is 4, so now I have 2x plus 4 equals 8x plus 4. You could have also written the left side as 4 plus 2x. Both sides are fully simplified, so it's time for step 2b, combining the variables on the same side. You could have done it differently and still found the right solution, but I brought the baby home to mama and brought the smaller term, 2x, over to the bigger term, 8x, using subtraction. That gave me 4 equals 6x plus 4. Time for step 2c, inverses. I need to subtract 4 from both sides, which gives me 0 equals 6x. Is that right? I mean, 4 minus 4 is 0, so let's keep going and see what happens. I can see why Caroline got a bit tripped up by this one, though. We'll finish it up. Do I multiply or divide by 6 to isolate the x? I use inverse operations, so I divide by 6 on both sides. 0 divided by 6, or by anything really, is 0. And 6 divided by 6 is 1, which is invisible when we write it with a variable. So I have 0 equals x, or rewritten as our solution, x equals 0. That seems a bit odd, but 0 could be right. Let's check with substitution. I put 0 in place of x in both places in the equation, and 4 equals 4. The solution checks out. X equals 0 must be right. Wow, mathematicians, I am so proud of us. We've added a ton to our equation solving skills, and we're ready to tackle some real world situations. Before we get to that though, I'm gonna call Caroline back and explain how we got our solution. In the meantime, you finish up the guided notes and work on levels 1 and 2. Until next time, keep questioning, keep calculating, and remember, bringing the baby home to mama will help you keep your math more positive. See you next time.
Hey, hey.